Hi, I'm Lucy, and I'm going to just share some exercises from my spiritual practice and practices with you. So, this first one that I want to talk about, I call thought testing. Okay, so it works like this. This requires a little bit of mindfulness of our body to do and our ability to look at the kinds of decisions we're making. So if we can do both of those things together, we can do thought testing. I don't know if this practice is for everyone. I don't know if this practice works exactly this way for everyone. There might be some details which are different for you. I don't want to say this is the only practice. I hope you all know everybody's practices are valid. This is my practice. It's worked very well for me, and I want to share it with you. So, this is what I do. This is a way of choosing based on feeling and based on the feeling of the heart. So I like to teach this like this. So think about what a yes or a mm-hmm feels like in your body. So close your eyes and just imagine that mm-hmm. See which way your breath flows. And now think, no. And see which way your breath flows. When I talk about my breath, this is a really important piece. I call it riding the breath. So, thought testing and riding the breath are very similar. Thought testing is basically how you get your equilibrium in terms of riding the breath. So what riding the breath and thought testing is going to do is we're going to take two ideas. Let's just say we have a choice. We have a choice between A and B. And let's say A is like, I'm going to take this job, and B is like, I'm not going to take this job. So I'm going to walk you through the process. So I have this choice in front of me. I have two directions I could go. I'm just going to imagine for a moment that I'm going down path A. I'm going to take the job, and I breathe into it. I feel, when I say I breathe into it, is I take a breath while thinking that I'm going to do the thing that I'm thinking, or not do it, whatever it is I'm thinking. In this case, I'm thinking I'm going to take the job. So, when I think that I'm going to take the job, I don't really get a full, expansive breath that moves upwards through my being, creating a feeling of lightness and pleasure as it moves through me. So I'm really checking in to feel, what does it feel like in my body as I consider this option. Let it go. And I think about the other one, the other option. I'm not going to take this job. So I feel into it. I feel how the energy moves through my body, how it flows through me as I think it. In this case, the energy does feel like it flows through me, and it moves upwards, even up into my crown and through it, and I get a pleasant, sort of watery feeling in my being. And between those two choices, sort of blocked off, dense feeling I get about taking the job versus the watery, light, moving all the way up, and energy flow feeling I get when I think about not taking the job. That second one, the watery, not taking the job feeling is really significantly more pleasurable, and it matches up with what we call the embodied yes, the fuck yeah. That's how I make my decisions. I try and do this in almost all cases. And you can do this too, and it's a really great way to really get in touch with the energy of the heart. I really believe that all of our hearts and minds are actually joined and connected, and and that there's not really any walls between them. So when we're breathing into this and we're sensing how does it feel for us, we are really tuning in to the greater consciousness of how well does this flow through the whole being. And when it comes to miracles and practicing miracles, the Course in Miracles says that anytime you see another's interests and your own as one, you are opening the door to miracles. So I really believe that this practice has a couple really fantastic benefits. One of these benefits is that what I think is actually happening when we tune into our beings and find that resonance within ourselves is that because our minds and our hearts are joined with others, what we're actually feeling when we feel the flow move through us is the flow that it also has with the rest of the universe. How many other beings are in agreement with this choice with us? How many other beings does this really serve their higher purpose for us to choose? It's sort of like an inner navigation system that I really truly believe is given to us by the divine in order to make decisions, especially when like our thought structure can be so chaotic and fragmented and be taking in so many different points of view that we really don't know which way to go. So this kind of, the other benefit of it is it kind of allows us to begin to have a way to make choices in our life that is both aware of what's going on in the mind, and yet it's disengaged from it because the final choice comes from what feels right in our hearts versus what sort of logical options do we have. And I think that's a really powerful tool when it comes to actually learning how to let go of our beliefs, our perspectives, our opinions, and thinking that those things are the things that like we can really use to guide us. This is my way of staying in touch with the flow, and I think it's a really powerful thing, and I really hope that you can try it out in your life and see if it works for you and see if you get good results, because I've gotten really amazing results from it, and my whole life I really try and live by these principles, and the deeper I tune into it, the more it works out for me and the more joyful I feel in my life. And really this is one of the chief practices or the primary practices that I feel allowed me to turn around my depression, my anxiety, my a lot of things was learning how to tune in to this heart logic, this feeling that flows through us and is a part of the greater flow. So that's thought testing 101, thought testing for staying in the flow. There are some challenges with it. Sometimes our own trauma can get in the way, and it can be hard to know if what we're really seeing is our heart's choice or if what we're feeling is our own fear of hearing that choice. Like sometimes we can't really accept or receive a positive answer about something, even if it would be in our best interests, because we have significant trauma or fear blocking us from that. So other practices and other styles of relating in those specific instances may be needed, and it's a little bit beyond the scope of what I'm here to talk about right now, but I hope that I get to talk about that someday. And yeah, that's it. So this is just a little sharing with me, Lucy, and I hope that this can help you, and it's fun putting it out. Thank you very much.